Here are the top 5 reasons not to move to Columbia, Maryland. This is coming from a local who was born and raised there and lived there all his life until deep adulthood. This is not some type of content engine who generated this video. This is a real person. So before I talk about this, there are a lot of reasons to move here, so I recommend you watch my video on that too. Now that being said, reasons not to move here, the first and foremost I would say is traffic. The fact of the matter is, it's kind of like a mini Austin in terms of the amount of people moving here and the lack of infrastructure, which means that you will be fighting for parking, especially when you're trying to go to Costco on weekends and any major place like the mall, the parks. They're getting pretty crowded, and the amount of people moving here versus the time it takes to build new infrastructure, it is just not adding up, which leads to a lot of stress and frustration on the roads. Now, reason 2 that you don't want to move here is if you are a young professional. The fact of the matter is, while this is a beautiful place to live, it's populated by high school kids, elementary school kids, and adults or people who are retired, which means that on Friday nights, there's not much to do unless you want to hang out in a bar with some old people. Everything basically shuts down unless you want to go to like this one bowling alley they have. And so that was a frustrating part of when I lived there, and one reason that I decided I wanted to move away. But you know, I spent a good deal of my 20s there, and it wasn't the most enjoyable. Now some people, they don't care about that. They want a low-key suburban life even in their 20s. If that's for you, maybe it is a fit. Number 3, while it is a great place to live and raise a child, there's not much variety with local foods and cuisines. I ran into a roommate who moved here from New Jersey, and he asked me a few times, well, are there any good mom and pop stores? Everything here seems to be a chain. And the fact of the matter is, there's a handful, but the vast majority of the stuff here is a chain. I mean, we do have Hunan Manor, which is like that one-off nice Chinese restaurant here. And then we do have a couple other small places, but like food trucks. But the fact of the matter is, 99% of what you'll find here is some chain that you'll find somewhere else in the US. There are small exceptions, like if you were to go to historic Ellicott City, you can find some nice mom and pop places and for some good shawarma, but the options are really limited compared to many other cities in the world. It is one of those suburban centers where it's artificially constructed, so a lot of the things that survive here are just the chain stores, but we do have them all. Anything you can think of, from P.F. Chang's to Cheesecake Factory to AMC Movies to anything halal guys, you'll probably find it here. Number 4, fourth reason you don't want to move here is just because it does get boring if you don't like chain stuff. Like I said, if you like chain stuff, like Spa Weeks or Yoga Works or anything really, CrossFit gyms, fitness classes, karate classes, you'll find it here. But if you're not someone who likes to just get out of their house, drive to a Whole Foods and then to a yoga class and then back home without any real city center or like non-cookie cutter place, then you're out of luck. Now, some family members who are raising children, they love it. That's what they like. It's beautiful, it's well polished, it's clean. But unlike something like New York City, you're not going to have all these fun, random activities, these pop-up stores happening. And then 5, the 5th reason you don't want to move here is after a while, you just end up living a rather boring life. Sure, you can drive out to DC and Baltimore and Virginia within an hour and explore a lot of their sites, but a lot of people, especially with a family, they don't have the time to do that. That is a whole day-long excursion, an hour there, an hour back. You got to bring the kids, it's snacks, so they end up just living a rather routine life. And so if you want to go out and bump into new fun stuff that's unique, there's less of that there. There's some local activities for 4th of July. They have local fireworks and stuff, but generally speaking, you're left to your own devices for exploring hobbies. And for some parents, that's perfect for them. They'll be in their backyards working on some woodwork thing or whatever activity they want. Maybe they just love the community at the CrossFit gym, and that's enough for them. But you're not going to have something like a New York City or San Francisco or Miami where there's I don't know, an EDC festival happening right next door. That stuff's just not going to happen nearby. Your best bet is to go to DC, which still is quite a trek away. It's an hour away, so you really don't feel like you're really a DC resident. You're more of like someone who's close enough to be part of that scene, but far enough away that you're basically out in the suburbs. So once again, check out my other video on top 5 reasons to move here, because there are some reasons to move here. It's been rated the #1 best place to live a few times, and safest place to live, and a bunch of other things.